quick analysis for those of y'all who trying to see the process and whatnot. So right now I'm on Markets Insider. This website gives you the earnings calendar a week ahead, sometimes 2 weeks ahead. So right now I'm looking at week 8, which is next week. All right, I'm looking at large cap companies. Okay, so you see Walmart here, Shopify here, Deere, CVS, Karen Group, a bunch of different companies that we are familiar with, Novatech, Roku. All right, so I could just start at the top. Right click, Walmart. Okay, Walmart will pull up. And I already got it here. So Walmart pulls up. Okay, you see the price here. You scroll down, you see a few news articles here. See this and see that. All right, I just want this open so I can get to it later. I want to focus on Trading View. So I pull up the signal on Trading View. All right, pull it up so I can see the chart. Okay, so I'm looking at the chart. I'm on the daily chart right now. You see the 50 is crossed over the 200, so we're in the uptrend. All right, peak was around 152, 153, and you see it's going to downtrend. So what I did immediately was I put a trend line on there. All right, so this is a ray. You can go over to your side. You got trend line here, you got a ray. If you're not familiar with trend lines, then you should probably start out with a ray. That way you can make sure that you're good to go. So I start with the top, and then I go down and connect at least 2 high points to make my trend line. So you see it's an uptrend overall, but you see this pullback right here. So I put a trend line on the pullback. All right, so this is the pullback, and you can see that this was the lowest point of the pullback so far. So what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for price to reach this trend line right here. Okay, you can set an alert right on the trend line if you want. All right, so you can set an alert on the trend line so that way you get alerted when price crosses this point. If price crosses this trend line, I'm probably going to enter in long for a long position here and have my price target around 152 at the previous high. All right, if it reaches the trend line and it rejects it and goes down, then I'm waiting for the final pullback before I enter. All right, so I'm banking on Walmart to go up in price. I could be wrong, but at least I have the trend line here to see where I'm at in the market. And then from there, I can go back and look at the news to see what's going on, to gauge on whether I think that it's going to continue to go up or down, or if the price is going to go up or down or whatever. Yeah, so you can use Yahoo Finance and all these other sites as well. Just to use as much as you possibly can to gather all the news to see whether you think it's going to go up or down with the earnings call. So the earnings call is on February 18th, and then also with this, you can scroll down to the 4-hour and you can adjust it a little bit more to make the trend line a little bit more accurate. All right, and you can see, like I said, as you scale down, the moving averages are going to scale down as well. So you see that the moving average has crossed, but again, when you move down to the lower time frame, the moving averages are going to move more. So you can see back here that it crossed as well, but it crossed briefly and it came right back. So I'm not worried about it crossing right here. I'm more so concerned about it crossing on the daily. All right, so on the 4-hour, it crossed, but it could very well come right back up. So I got my trend line here. And you could also make another alert here to see if it crosses this point before it hits the trend line, just to make sure you stay in tune with it. And then you have your position here on the chart. Now you can go back to the news and see what the news is saying. If it comes back here and all I see is nothing but negative news, then you might be ready to go short on this. If I go here and I see nothing but positive news, then you might be willing to go long on this if it actually reaches this trend line and starts crossing it to the upside. All right, so that's a quick analysis for Walmart. Right now I'm looking at next week's earnings. It's Monday, so if I get in position for something for next week, I might be able to profit and hit my target before the end of the week is up and cash out for next week's earnings early. All right, check that out.